You are climbing up here to try to talk to me into giving up. You are wasting your time.
Oh, I know that.
Dido?
Hello, Mum.
What are you doing here?
Trying to stop you getting arrested.
Well, thank you, but I don't need your assistance. I was doing this before you were born.
I know that too.
Why are you here? Did the police call you? Nice try with the emotional blackmail, but I'm not moving.
They can't hear you.
Well then, as far as they're concerned, I'm peacefully resisting, aren't I?
You're trespassing.
Trespassing is a civil offence.
Not when you combine it with criminal damage.
I haven't damaged anything.
How did you get in then?
Ah, that would be telling.
I'm sure they've found out by now. This place has security cameras everywhere.
I think they had something to hide.
I don't think you realise how serious this is. You're bloody lucky this place is no longer on high alert, or you'd have guns pointing at you right now.
Bring it on, I say.
Is it just you then?
Might be.
Why aren't you in a tunnel under Hampshire with the rest of them?
I'm following my conscience.
So you decided to break in here and sit on a roof on your own?
You have no idea how I got in. I'm here to raise awareness.
Nobody can see you.
It'll be in all the papers tomorrow.
There are no journalists here.
And somebody will tip them off.
I doubt it.
They'll hear it on the police radio when they call in the heavies with the bolt cutters.
Ah, the trusty bike lock.
Simple but effective.
Yes, very clever. But I don't think journalists scan police radios anymore. It's all about social media these days. Nice banner though. Did you make that yourself?
Yes, I did actually. Hey, don't touch that!
If this blows off and gets sucked into some of the machinery, it could be disastrous.
Good. Shut the place down.
Somebody could get hurt. Besides, you can barely see it from down there.
Note to self, next time bring a bigger banner.
Next time?
I admit I'm a little out of practice, but I'm getting back into the swing of this.
Yes, it's a very impressive comeback.
I'm doing this for you. For your generation, and the one after that.
Well, thank you very much, but please just stop.
I believe you're helping the police.
I'm not. I'm trying to help you.
By sabotaging my demonstration.
If that's what it takes.
How did you get here so quickly anyway?
I was nearby.
Weren't you at work?
Yeah.
But the university is an hour away.
I've been seconded onto a project off campus.
Since when?
A couple of months ago.
You never told me.
Well, you didn't tell me you were planning this either. So I guess we're even.
So where are you working?
It's a joint venture with a Canadian company.
What do they do?
Environmental consultancy.
That sounds interesting.
It is.
Do you not miss teaching?
A bit. Look, enough of the chit-chat. You really need to get down from here now.
I'm not moving until the police make me. So we might as well pass the time. So, tell me about the project.
We are decommissioning an oil refinery and setting up a small-scale hydrogen production plant.
Oh, is that in Canada?
No, here.
In the UK?
Yes, here.
Here? At this plant?
Yes.
You are working for QFF?
Not for, but with. Yes.
QFF? The company that has been actively destroying the planet for decades, killing wildlife, causing pollution, and all the time raking in huge profits. Oh, no wonder you were too ashamed to tell me.
I'm not ashamed.
Well, you should be.
Would you prefer they carried on using fossil fuels?
No. But they deserve to be driven into bankruptcy and have all the directors thrown in jail.
What good would that do?
They need to be made to pay for what they've done.
They're investing huge amounts of money to convert this plant.
Dirty money. They should just tear the place down.
Some of it will be demolished and other parts repurposed.
Could be working to change the world.
I am.
Instead, you're in cahoots with these evil, greedy people.
We're setting up a research facility here so we can improve the way we make hydrogen. It makes sense to use existing machinery where we can. It's recycling.
Oh, I see. So QFF are green pioneers now, are they? Certainly hooked you in.
I thought change is what you wanted. They've stopped refining oil here.
Since when?
Last month.
So why is there still smoke pouring out over there?
It's steam. They're cleaning out the tanks and pipes so we can reuse them.
Well, even if that is true...
It is.
Why should these people, who've done so much harm, get to carry on making money?
Who else is going to invest in this? It's going to cost billions of pounds to switch the country to green energy.
Like a true company rep.
For the last time, I don't work for QFF. I'm here to make sure this plant is shut down properly and to set up the research facility. We've got to find ways to harness solar and wind power more efficiently and improve the way we process hydrogen. That's why I'm here. I get it. QFF makes you angry and you want to take action. But this crusade of yours isn't going to achieve anything.
What do you want me to do then? Shake hands with the fat cats and play nice too?
That isn't what I'm doing. I'm working on transformative technology, real innovations.
Well, good for you. Studying engineering at a top university wasn't an option for me, so I can't contribute much to that.
But you do love to brag about your daughter being a trailblazer for women.
Well, I did.
Let me show you what we're planning to achieve here. You can even apply to be an independent observer if you want. If you're not convinced, fine. Carry on campaigning. But can we please get down from here and talk about it sensibly? Inside?
You're forgetting something.
Use the key.
What key?
The one you always keep in your sock.
Oh, that was when you were little. Well, in case of emergencies. If you needed me urgently...
Old habits die hard.
Well, as it happens, you're right. I figured that as I was on my own, I'd better have a backup plan.
Give it to me, I'll do it.
Sure, catch!
Stop messing about.
Oh, dear. Oh, whoops. Sorry. That really was a terrible throw.
You did that on purpose.
Well, you can't expect me to make it too easy for you. That would look like surrender.
Dido to Alex. I'm going to need those bolt cutters.
Herbert? Herbert, are you awake?
Where am I?
It's okay, don't worry.
Who are you?
I'm a nurse. You are in the hospital.
What? Why? What happened?
You can't remember?
No.
Well, you've had a nasty concussion.
My arm hurts.
Oh, I'm not surprised. You fell off your horse.
I fell off.
Well,
I never fall off.
you were assaulted. A brutal lunatic woman ran onto the course and sent you and poor animal flying.
Why would anyone do a thing like that?
I wouldn't try and see any logic in it.
But she ran onto the course.
Like I say, deluded probably.
Will I be well enough for the Epsom Derby?
Your memory really isn't well, is it?
What do you mean?
It was the Epsom Derby.
Is the king upset?
I imagine so. You received a lovely telegram from Queen Alexandra.
Right.
Shall I read it out for you?
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Oh, please, no visitors.
Just a quick word, if you wouldn't mind.
I don't...
Herbert is still in recovery. He needs to rest.
Just a few words. Won't take much of your time, and then you'll never hear from me again.
Who are you?
You don't know this woman?
No.
I just...
Then I really must insist.
I'm a reporter from The Observer.
You want to speak to me about the Epsom Derby?
Precisely.
Well, I'm happy to talk, but I'm afraid I don't really remember much of it.
I understand. And what about the woman who caused this suffering to you?
Well, yes, I would like the police to deal with her in a manner they deem appropriate.
And what about the movement as a whole?
Movement?
Universal suffrage. The suffragists.
Protesters. Votes for women.
What has that got to do with anything?
The woman who disrupted your race, she was one of them.
I didn't know that.
She was carrying a banner which showed a suffragist statement regardless.
You didn't tell me that.
Like I said, a lunatic.
We'd just like to know your opinions on the whole thing.
On what?
The suffragists.
I don't know. I don't have any opinions on the suffragists.
Right.
I only found out what they were 30 seconds ago.
But bearing in mind that one of them has just knocked you off your horse...
At the Epsom Derby.
At the Epsom Derby, landing you in hospital.
Just 2 weeks before he was due to ride the same horse for the king at Ascot.
Oh, I'll be alright for that, surely.
Unlikely. You've been concussed.
Yeah, but in 2 weeks.
Your arm may well still be in the sling.
Really?
Just any sort of statement. Anything you might want to put out there about the rights of women to vote?
I don't...
He's concussed. Would you like me to handle this?
Yeah, sure.
I think Mr. Jones is deeply disappointed to have had the race interrupted and thinks that this sort of behaviour is unlikely to endear the public to their wider cause of granting women suffrage.
Hold on, I don't know
He
if I think...
thinks that if they do want to participate in democracy, then they first need to demonstrate that they are capable of participating in polite society, and actions such as these clearly fly in the face of such standards as those we are used to from those we expect to participate in
No, I
democracy.
don't want that being attributed to me. I think I just need to get some rest.
Yes, of course.
But please don't attribute any of those quotes to me.
Well, can I just...
Come on, Mr. Jones needs to rest.
Herbert,
Who are you?
a friend of Emily's.
Who's Emily?
The woman who went under your horse.
Oh, right.
We do owe you an apology.
Why isn't she apologising herself?
I'm sure she would, if she could.
What do you mean?
She's hospitalised. She's in a bed a few wards down from here.
From the collision?
Yes.
No one explained that to me. Is she alright?
Not really.
Oh dear.
It looks like she's not going to make it.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's very noble of you. The thing is, I must explain, it was never her intent to disrupt the race quite to that extent.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright. She's a friend.
He really doesn't need visitors right now.
No, could you give us 5 minutes, please?
5 minutes, that's all.
Thank you.
So Emily didn't intend for all this to happen?
She just wanted to hang a banner from your horse, calling for an extension of voting rights to women.
And now she's going to die?
It does look like that, yes.
Well, how horrible.
We were talking, and we would like to invite you to lay a wreath at the funeral.
Me?
Just as a way of showing that there's no ill will between us.
I see.
Like I say, it was never her intention to stop you from completing the race.
Right.
Or for you to end up in hospital, or hurt your poor horse. We just wanted to make our views known at such an event where so many were watching.
I'll think about it.
Of course. You're tired.
But yes, a gesture would be nice. Something. I don't bear you any ill will. Or her.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'll leave you to get some rest.
Who was she then?
Just a friend. I am quite tired now, though.
Of course.
Can you make sure I don't receive any further visitors until I've had a rest?
You can count on me.
Welcome to today's masterclass. Here at SPOIL, we pride ourselves in providing the best masterclasses. The word leading, really, masterclasses and workshops in how to protest and activism 101. In today's seminar, your first of this 30-day course, this exclusive 30-day course, we will be focusing on fighting fundamentals, how to make powerful impact from scratch. And just to give you a brief background on myself, here you'll see in this slide, no, Derek, can you go to the next slide, please? Yes, here in this slide, you'll see, well, me. I started working at SPOIL as on-the-ground fighter. My responsibilities included distributing leaflets to members of the public and engaging with, enrolling future fighters. And I've been blessed to stay with SPOIL ever since, and now to teach and train all over the world for the past 10 years, to give others the power to become full-fledged protesters and to enrich their journeys of resistance. We will start our first lecture today with some quick fire points. Take note of this, as these points are fundamental in any activism you may want to do. Step 1. Decide on your mission. Derek, it's the next slide. Can you go to the next slide, please? No, that's too far. The one before? Yes? You and your collaborators need to decide and write in precise detail what you stand for, what you want to achieve, what your mission is. This will form part of your mission statement that we will be discussing in detail this afternoon. On this slide, you'll see the statement that I myself wrote for the SPOIL website before it was updated a few years ago. But this was my first try at writing a manifesto. We stand for justice. We stand for peace. We stand for the world. Step 2. Be memorable. Whatever your endeavor is. No, Derek, it's the next slide. Thank you. Whatever your endeavor is, you need to always be memorable. Whether that is how you address the general public, how you write and design posters.
Just a question.
Yes, how can I help?
What if, right, you just want to say, fuck it?
As in, what do you mean?
Like in your poster.
Well, firstly, what would be your target? As in your aim. Who are you?
Well, like, there's always something you need to, fight against. Like, your job. All our jobs. I mean, well, not our jobs really, because, this is not work for any of us, but rather, it's what's the word?
I see it very much as a mission and a purpose. Collectively, we are fighting.
Right. I mean, it's more of, a fight against systems, and we all need to be in this fight.
Here at SPOIL, we very much see it as a mission and as a purpose that we want to instill. I mean, share and give to the world. It's a gift to...
Yeah. It's within us, though, to begin that fight and find that, fire within us.
Yes, well, thank you for your insightful comments. I'm sure we have all found them useful. I'm sure you'll find our course Be the Change to See the Change particularly useful in owning and using that fire within. That course is currently on discount for all you hear today, but only until Friday. I myself teach on that course, and I know you'll find it incredibly helpful. To resume our seminar, I was talking about the importance of being memorable and how all your actions should be memorable. To do that, you should first express...
I don't think we addressed the poster that I want to make. You see, I'm going to this march on Sunday, and it's really going to be about, you know...
And what poster would that be?
Yeah, well, I want the poster to just say, fuck it.
I think I would need some more context to be able to fully address the question, to fully tell if it would be appropriate or memorable for the work you are...
Because, you know, that's part of our manifesto. So I am taking that from the fight we are struggling for.
I understand, and I appreciate you bringing this up.
That's what you are saying, right? That we should be memorable. You know, if you go back to the previous slide, you are talking about needing to be memorable.
Yes, I'll continue addressing the need to be memorable and how to be memorable. So maybe...
If you go to the previous
No,
slide...
Derek, don't change the slide, please.
Derek, if you go back, because on one of the slides before, I know that it talked more about the need to fight more, you know, and express.
Maybe we can discuss this during our break, so I can give you a more detailed answer, and we can...
It's really about bringing down the systems that are...
Yes, thank you. Why don't we resume the lecture and I'll discuss this with you during the break?
Because really...
Yes, let's discuss this afterwards. I'm sure you'll find that I'll address your question in the rest of this morning's lecture. As I was saying, in order to be memorable, you first need to express your truth. To do that, you need to search deeply into why you want to be an activist, why you want to begin this journey of resistance, this journey of protest. So I would like you all to grab your pen and paper and write down some initial reflection that come to mind. And then in pairs, I want you to discuss...
I don't want to be negative, you know. I just want to give you some thoughts on, you know, well, you are a young woman still with a lot to learn.
Absolutely.
You see that slide there? And this is not a criticism. This is not me being negative or whatever. That slide there, it's you know, it's not clear because I feel like, you know, you're not addressing what the slide is about. The slide is about one thing, and you are referring to something else. And, you know, you are young.
Yes. Thank you for that constructive feedback. We really value any feedback that you can give us about the course. As I was about to say, on this slide you'll see a quotation from the founder and the president of SPOIL, which conveys how powerful the fundamental nature of collective action is in today's society.
But I'm not seeing a quotation. I'm seeing a graph.
What graph?
So what does that graph mean?
What graph?
The graph there. It's on the slide. There's an orange line that's...
There's no graph on this slide. This is a quote from the president.
I can see a graph right there.
There's no graph on this slide.
Well, I'm seeing a graph right there.
Well, it must be a problem with your eyesight because...
Look at the slide. You know, on the slide.
Derek, the slides!
In episode 1 of Incite Playwrights, you heard The Green Mum, written and directed by Kerry Holmes, with Aurea Williamson and Louisa Robinson. Paul Herbert Jones, written by Joe Dolan and directed by Jennifer Fernandez, with Joe Dolan, Esther Pasek-Falvey, Sue Dyde and Aurea Williamson. And I Save the World, written and directed by Jennifer Fernandez, with Ewelina Ruszkin and Sue Dyde. This is an Incite Playwrights production.